Good morning. We're here at the Network Effect event, and I'm here with Ronak Daya. I'm Andy Baehr, head of product and research at CoinDesk Indices. Ronak, it's great to be here. You're head of product at Paxos. It is an exciting day, exciting week, exciting times. I'd really like to get started with a little bit of your background and what brought you here, because nobody got here in 1 year, right? This had to be a passion from a long time ago.
Sure. Thanks for having me, and excited to be here. It's awesome to see everyone come into New York. We have global dollar cars outside, and so it's fun to see this come to life and take shape. I have been working in fintech for the last 15 years. Started in Deutsche Bank back in the day, but
Oh, we were both Deutsche. Okay, so we have a co-alumniship. Yeah.
and then, in the early days of New York fintech, focused on ad tech, which was the new thing, and worked at a few startups. But found quickly that while hard problems are fun to solve, they need to have a purpose. And so spent a decade after that building small business lending and helping small businesses get access to capital and banking services when through the pandemic and otherwise. So through that, it became abundantly clear to me, coming out of Square and Block, where I built something called Capital and Banking, it was very clear that while the new wave of fintech apps have made access to dollars and banking services and transfers really seamless for you and I, who can use Cash App and Venmo and everything else, this is all sort of behind the scenes held with a lot of scotch tape. There's still pre-funding. The beauty of fintech is that it has abstracted away all the nonsense that happens in the antiquated systems that power those applications.
Right.
And so,
but those systems are still there.
those systems are still there. And so as I evaluated what I wanted to be doing, it was very clear that anything I do is going to be still working with this system. And I wanted to find a way to go help build the next wave of systems. And it was very clear that blockchain technology had started to get there. And
still, that's a bold move to switch to the parallel runway, right? Of the blockchain way of solving this.
Yeah, and I think it's important to remember sort of how these technologies come in place. Like, this is similar and akin to how telecom industry came into play, how the web came into play, how our phones and computers have shrunk and come into our pockets. And to me, the technological innovation associated with like blockchain was what drew me here. I think there's a when you tell people, even in like 2020 and 2022, that you're considering going into crypto, it draws a lot of eyes.
Right. What happened? They say with a worried look on their face, right?
and so there's a balance between, it's funny. I read somewhere recently that when you say crypto, there are actually like 3 use cases, which is a giant casino,
Yes.
a savings account, and a treasury product, and the beginning of a new payment rail. And typically when you say crypto, people think of the first bucket, which is unfortunate, but the reality is that we're at a place where we're starting to see large-scale adoption across the board of the new underlying payments network and the savings and access to dollars as a fundamental unlock for how this will change and create an internet-native economy that is powered by blockchain technology. And so that was clear to me, and Paxos has been on that mission for 10 plus years. And so I was excited to join, and that's where I've been for the last couple of years.
That's fantastic. And I think that kind of application of blockchain technology might turn the first definition of crypto from a casino into an investment asset class, because people really understand what layer one blockchains are doing, and actually they'll be able to see it. So tell us a little bit about USDG, when it started, what the idea was, why you decided to register in Singapore to get started, and kind of why you felt like that was the best way to get out there in what might be called a crowded field.
Sure. I think 2+ years, Paxos has always had the idea and mission of enabling existing financial players and new entrants to seamlessly adopt this new technology. And a core underlying infrastructure associated with it is bringing off-chain assets on-chain. And so that's tokenization, and we have done that with gold and other stable coins, and done it in a way that has regulation front and center, because we have a strong belief that if you're holding corporate assets or holding customer funds or using it for moving money, that protections, just saying trust me is not good enough, that you need regulatory protections. And so that's the piece that we've been focused on. And as we were sort of getting ready to launch the PayPal stablecoin, it was a watershed moment in the industry.
Yes.
And it was clear that this is the new rails of how money is going to move, and everyone's going to want a version of this. And the reason people want a version of the stablecoins is because it enables you to launch products globally, to move money in a transparent, clear way, and get the benefits of instant settlement and 24/7 access. While that was always true, there were still problems with existing stablecoins. Not all of them are regulated, obviously. We've had a lot of challenges of depegging in the past. The beauty of stablecoins comes from having trust and inherent confidence that you can always redeem it for $1. And that core principle is easy to say and really hard to implement in all sorts of scenarios. And so that's the piece that we knew obviously can do, because we've done it for a while. But also, as you think about stablecoins, they're networks. And the value of bringing an asset onto the blockchain can only be realized, and the benefits can only be realized if it has the connectivity, the access, the liquidity, and the utility that are needed, that are similar to dollars today, but better because it's global. And so everyone doesn't need to create their own stablecoin. The reason people want to create their own stablecoin is because they want to be able to trust and control it. They want to be able to drive access and utility with their distribution that they have today. And they, more often than not, want proportional economics. Right. Today, when you use an existing stablecoin, you are either funding their pocket or a competitor's pocket. And that just doesn't fly anymore. I think in the early days, people were willing to pay essentially a 4.5% tax or a 5% tax to take their dollars and put it on the blockchain.
Right.
But that
well, by the way, and when that started, interest rates were kind of zero anyway, right? So it wasn't much of an opportunity cost.
That's right.
Until 2022.
And so as that has changed, I think the existing stablecoins obviously have seen adoption and have created networks, so it's hard to disrupt that.
Right.
But I think it's also important to remember that we're in year 4 or 5 of this journey, and if we strongly believe that stablecoins are going to go from the $200 billion to trillions of dollars, winners don't get called in the first innings. And I think for us it was where do we think the future is going? And in our mind, the future needs to be one that is set up with proportional and equitable value to the distributors and the end holders that are providing the dollars and helping drive adoption of this network, while sort of coupling with a regulated asset and bringing a set of large partners to the table. So that was the idea behind creating something like this. And so we set out on the ambitious mission of launching a network. I know there's been past failed attempts at creating stablecoin networks, but this moment felt like the right opportunity to create that. So we, have set this up as a network. The idea was that the USDG is a regulated asset. We set it up with the upcoming MAS framework of stablecoin issuance. We worked with the MAS because they're a forward-looking prudential regulator who has been innovative and partnered with us on how to bring this forward. We partnered with banks like Standard Chartered and DBS that people can trust. And then we brought on a set of really strong partners on the onset, including Anchorage, Robinhood, Kraken, and others, to the table to all work together to grow this dollar. And we set it up with the ethos of it being an open network that plays proportional value. Coming from the ad tech days, the thing that I have found helps people understand is cookies and cookies on chain. Today, I can in the old ad tech days, even today you can attribute value and trace how things move. And the blockchain enables us to understand who's driving adoption, who's holding it, and who's driving minting or acceptance, and who's using it for payments. And we reward those behaviors through open network, and that's the sort of genesis of Global Dollar.
Fantastic. When I first started experimenting with Pi USD, I was curious to see if I felt like I was part of the PayPal user experience, and you kind of are, right? It distinguishes it from other stablecoins or other digital assets in that you feel that you're already at a safe place in PayPal. Everybody uses it for one thing or another, or for many things, and now you have this native stablecoin. So I felt it was a nice extension of what it was to be like, but it was a very overt user experience. Do you expect users of USDG to have that much of a relationship with the stablecoin itself, or is it going to be a little bit abstracted by just use cases?
I think you need a bit of both. I think there's going to be we're at a really fun, interesting intersection of TradFi in its traditional sense, banks and large FIs, the new fintechs of the world, and DeFi and crypto players all seamlessly coming together to drive adoption. I think everyone has different ethos and different experiences that they want to create within their own applications and own experiences, and I think that's the beauty of this, is you can use it in the way that suits you the best. In DeFi applications, having and leaning in on the trust of something like Global Dollar and the association with the network helps drive adoption, and so people want it to be front and center. With Kraken and Robinhood, we'll see USDG show up as a clear asset because they put their trust in it, and they want to pass that trust down to the end consumers. And we'll see other fintechs who want to call it their own dollar or just call it dollars on their platform. And that's okay and great as long as it drives adoption and usage for all the things that we think are valuable as it comes to Global Dollar and stablecoins broadly.
Fantastic. That's great. I think that went by quick, but we're out of time, and we have a fantastic event on site here coming up in front of us. But it was a delight to talk to you, and I look forward to seeing you later on a panel. Thanks
Awesome.
for coming by.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.